I had a portfolio review a few years back, and for the most part, it was very informative, and I learned some very interesting things about trying to enter the workforce as a freelance photographer. But there were two statements that I kind of had to discard in those conversations. And the first one was about my music photography, that I was just taking a bunch of pictures and choosing the good ones, which it made me kind of take a step back because it was such an odd thing to hear from someone in a creative position. I would expect that from someone who is not a photographer or isn't an editor or doesn't work with photographers ever. But to hear it from someone who is responsible for gatekeeping who gets work and who doesn't, it was a little off putting because that's all photography. All photography is taking pictures and then choosing the good ones. You can see contact sheets from the 70s and the 80s where people took photos and then they cross out the ones that they don't like and they circle the ones that they think are keepers. And the scale of that has changed with the advent of digital and things like that. But the process is still largely the same. You take the pictures and then you look through them and you choose the ones that fit what you're trying to do. So to say that, oh, you're just picking the good ones, that's all photography. You should pick the good ones. I hope you're picking the good ones. But, this person did have other nice things to say that were useful and constructive. So I don't want to dismiss any of that, but I did feel the need to kind of address that here. The second thing was another person giving me feedback on my work. And they looked at my street photography and said, you're finding good light and you're taking great photographs, but these are happy accidents. And they used that to pivot to talking about wanting to hire someone who they thought was consistent and could reproduce results consistently. And again, I found myself kind of in a weird space with that comment because what do you mean what I'm doing is not consistent? I am showing you an entire portfolio of times that I was able to find a good moment and make it look a consistent way. How is that not consistency? The comparison I would give here is if you play baseball, basketball, soccer, you name it, there is a skill involved, but there are a bunch of variables that are outside of your control. And the fact that there is a chance at failure doesn't suddenly make the success completely random. It just means that it's difficult. It's difficult to hit a baseball. It's difficult to kick a goal. It's difficult to shoot a three-pointer. And it's difficult to photograph a interesting street scene or an exciting music scene. And you will fail. Sometimes you will take a picture and it won't come out the way you expect. But the fact that you don't have a 100% hit rate doesn't suddenly make the successes happy accidents. That feels very dismissive. I had to kind of sit with what this person said for a while and think about what I wanted to keep from their critique and what I wanted to discard. The amount of people that I've spoken to and they find out that I do music photography and they're just immediately like, oh, yeah, I did that once, as if like, well, anyone can do it, derogatory. Um, it's not a small number. So I had to remind myself that sometimes even people in positions of authority won't have all the key information to make an informed decision about the work that you do. Sometimes they just won't understand. And I hope you don't let that sway you. I think that's going to be it for me. And I hope to be back soon with something new. I hope you're all well and take care.